Hi third graders, Mrs. Howland here, and today we are going to learn how to find the area of a rectangle through multiplication of the side lengths. Let's get started. Before we begin, let's review what a rectangle is and how to find its area. A rectangle is a quadrilateral whose sides are equal and parallel to each other. Here you can see that we have a rectangle whose sides are equal to one another, and they're also parallel. To find the area of the rectangle, we use the measurement of the 2D space inside of the object, which means how many square units can fit inside of the rectangle. To find the area, we use the length and multiply by the width. Here you can see we have 3 units in the length and 2 units in the width. Therefore, the area is 3 times 2, which means there are 6 square units inside of the rectangle. Using what we just reviewed about rectangles and areas, let's try our hand at problem number 1, which says to write a multiplication equation to find the area of each rectangle. In rectangle A, we can see that we have a length of 7 and a width of 4. And when we multiply the 7 feet by the 4 feet, we get 64 feet. Therefore, the area of rectangle A is 64 square feet. In rectangle B, we can see that we have a length of 8 feet and a width of 7 feet. When we multiply the 8 feet by the 7 feet, we get 56 feet. So the area of rectangle B is 56 square feet. For rectangle C, we can see that we have a length of 6 feet and a width that is also 6 feet. When you multiply the 6 feet by the 6 feet, you get 36, which means that the area of rectangle B is 36 square feet. Now let's look at problem 2, which looks at area a little bit differently. It's telling us to write a multiplication equation and a division equation to find the unknown side length for each rectangle. If you look at rectangle A, we can see that we are given one side of 9 feet, but we do not know the other side length. However, they do give us the total area, which is 72 square feet. We know from the previous problem that if we multiply the length times the width, that'll give us the total area. So in this problem, if we multiply the 9 by the unknown, we will get the 72 square feet. To find the unknown, we will divide the total square feet of 72 by the side that we have of the 9 feet, which will give us an answer of 8 feet. Therefore, the unknown side length for rectangle A is 8 feet. We can also now fill in our multiplication table since we know the width is 8 feet. Now let's look at rectangle B. We do not know the length, but we do know the width is 3 feet and the total area is 15 square feet. Therefore, we can write that the length, which is unknown, times the 3 feet is equal to 15 square feet. To find our unknown, we will take our total square feet of 15 and divide it by our width of 3, which will give us 5 feet. Therefore, our unknown side length is 5 feet. Now let's look at C, where it looks like we have the unknown side length times the width of 4 feet is equal to the total area of 28 square feet. Therefore, we can fill in our equations Our unknown length is left blank times our 4-foot width is equal to our 28 square feet. Our division equation would be our 28 square feet, which is divided by our known width of 4, which gives us 7 feet. Therefore, 7 feet would be our unknown side length of rectangle C. Now that we have some practice with finding the area of a rectangle, let's see if we can construct our own. This problem says that Ursa draws a rectangle that has side lengths of 9 centimeters and 6 centimeters. What is the area of the rectangle? Explain how you found your answer. First, let's begin by drawing a rectangle. And then we can label our sides, which has a length of 9 centimeters and a width of 6 centimeters. And we know from our practice that the area is equal to the length times the width. And therefore, our rectangle's area would be 9 centimeters times 6 centimeters, which means our total area would be 54 square centimeters. Now that we know the area of the rectangle, we can explain how we found our answer, which is by multiplying the side lengths. Here is an example of how you can use area in the world around you. Here is a garden, and if you want to find the area of the garden, you will multiply the length of 10 feet by the width of 4 feet to get the area of 40 square feet. Now you know how many vegetables you can plant inside your garden. I hope you've had as much fun learning about area of rectangles as I've had teaching. Thanks for watching. See you next time.